Hey guys, it's Monica, and welcome back to Spiritual Success TV, where spirituality meets entrepreneurship. So this week, I wanted to talk about fear. So fear is just an illusion. That's right, guys, it's not real. So fear comes from probably something that might have happened to you, the past. There might even be like epigenetics involved, meaning like your ancestry. Kind of a little complicated, but regardless, we all have it, and so it doesn't go away. So there is really no conquering fear, but what you can do is you can cope with it, right? You can make sure that fear doesn't run you, but instead you're the one running the show, and I'm going to tell you how to do that today. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about how fear has affected my life. So some of you may have heard this story before, but I was terrified of people. That's right. I was terrified of people, communication, connection, vulnerability, expression. I had a lot of social anxiety growing up. I was afraid of conflict. So just imagine what my life was like and what I was blocking like from my future, my greatness, who I was meant to be, and even just like the great things that I want, desired. I mean, everybody wants love. I wanted love, but how can I have love if I couldn't communicate? Or how can I have love if I was afraid of people, right? So, I was so afraid that like even with my daughter, when she was born, I remember feeling like I felt very unnatural. I had a very hard time, figuring out like how to react to her, and eventually, obviously, like as I went through this process, I got over it. But it was very debilitating. And had I gotten stuck in the fear and had I gotten stuck in, you know what, this is my story. I'm an introvert. I don't like making eye contact. I can't talk to people, I can't connect, I don't meet anybody, I can be alone. Imagine where I would be. I wouldn't be here right now making this video. I wouldn't be helping clients, the clients that I'm helping now. I wouldn't be, speaking, which I absolutely love today. So my life would be very different. I probably would have molded my life to be more of like just in front of the computer, which would have been very boring, which wouldn't have made me very happy. I wouldn't have been fulfilled. And so, that's why it's important to like recognize what these fears are and face them and, and try to move past them, or at least cope with them, because otherwise you're living a life that's not true to you. You're living a life that's not authentic to who you're meant to be. I mean, like you've got these dreams and you might not even think that you're capable of it because you're so afraid and there's so much doubt. So I challenge you to follow these steps and face your fear and try to cope with it and learn how to cope with it and just push through them, because you may be selling yourself short. And the world is not, you're not serving anybody by playing small. Just think about the people that are waiting for you to serve them, the people that need that gift that you have, and you're not doing it because you're afraid. So the first thing that I did, I literally wrote all my fears down. I mean, everything. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is not a way to live. And so the first thing was embrace where you are, right? Embrace where you are. Embrace the fact that you've got these fears. Embrace the fact that you're scared. And it's okay. This is where the compassion, the self-compassion comes in, because we need to really be gentle on ourselves and not be like, why aren't you somewhere? Why aren't you here? And instead you're here. It's really important to just like have love and have compassion for where you are. The other thing is embrace the fact that this is a process. It's not an easy process. Most of us are afraid of fear itself. We're afraid of facing fear. So it's just recognizing the fact that it is a journey, it's a process, it's going to take time, and it's going to take that compassion, and it's also going to take a lot of courage. So the fact that, if you're listening to this and you're even considering facing a fear that, you're terrified of, whether it's public speaking or maybe it's, fear of opening up or fear of not being enough. I mean, there's so many different fears. It's a really, really great step, and it's very courageous. So it takes courage, and thirdly, it takes commitment. This journey, it requires consistency, and if you give up, then you're giving up. But if you can just stay committed and say, no, I'm not going to allow this fear to run me. I'm committed to my happiness. I'm committed to being the best that I can be. It'll serve you very well. After you embrace it, what I did was I started to take small risks, and so I basically broke down the fear. So like I had this huge fear, obviously fear of public speaking, but I was also afraid of communication. So I broke it down. Okay, so how can I get over it? So I started, making eye contact with strangers. Believe it or not, I wasn't able to do that. I was afraid of like making eye contact. I was afraid of like anybody walking into the elevator because I was afraid of like, oh my God, they're going to talk to me. I couldn't look at anybody in the face. I would constantly, be talking with my eyes down. So eye contact with strangers, eye contact during a conversation. Then I started to like, okay, let me like up level it. Let me say hi to a stranger. You'd be surprised how hard that is. That was so hard for me. It's really incredible because my husband says hi to literally everybody. And, and he just makes it such a great habit. And what's beautiful about it is it really changes. You can see the effect that it has on somebody. So just even that is such a trickle effect. But saying hi to strangers was a big thing. And then talking to strangers, then being vulnerable, being, opening up a little bit, and just, and then just being vulnerable in general, expressing. I'm still working on that. It's hard for me sometimes to like be vulnerable, but I'm pushing myself towards it because I'm human. And we're all human. So and people really connect with that vulnerability. Another thing is so you just want to keep pushing yourself. And sometimes it's scary. I am also president of my BNI chapter, which is a Business Networking International, and I started the chapter knowing that one day I would be president. I had such a hard time standing up and just doing the 30-second commercial. I would stutter, I would blank out, and now it's like natural to me. And now I'm running the meetings. So you see the progress, and as you start to see the progress, you're like, yeah, like I can do this. And even just working on other fears, they're all connected. So if you just if you write down what you're afraid of and you just start working on other fears, it will affect it all. It will affect it all, and you'll build that confidence. You'll feel more empowered. You will absolutely be able to get over anything that you're afraid of, or So the other thing is have faith. That's a really, really big thing. Is to believe that it's possible. And to believe that you're taken care of. This is where the universe comes into play. The universe has your back, and so if you just like set this intention, I'm skipping forward a little bit, but if you know that this is what you want to do, the universe will provide opportunities for you, and just believe that you can do it. You absolutely can. Like, a lot of the time we're afraid because we're relying on our own strength. That's what the Course in Miracles says, and we're forgetting that. Hello, we're a part of the bigger picture. We're a part of the universe. We are part of the infinite. So, and I use this all the time. I work out really hard sometimes, like doing obstacle course training, and I'm exhausted, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't go anymore. And I use this all the time. I'm like, universe, like I know I'm relying not only on my own strength, but I'm relying on the universe, and it works. So really, use the universe. If the universe is there waiting for you with open arms, waiting to catch you. So you just have to have faith that if you take that leap, the universe will be right there waiting for you. And then, like I mentioned earlier, intention. Write it down. It's not real, if it's in your head, but if you write it down and you make the intention, I'm going to do this, it becomes real. And if you set that intention, you make that commitment, the universe will provide you with opportunities, and it will provide you with ideas to create opportunities. So that's exactly what I did, to push myself to get past my own fear of public speaking. I became, like I said, the president of BNI, and I also was a part of this really large Women's Success Summit. And at first I stood up on stage for 30 seconds, then 2 minutes, then 30 minutes, and it was just pushing myself there, setting the intention, looking for the opportunities. And every time I get on stage, or anytime I speak in front of anybody, I'm like, universe, please provide me with the perfect words, with the strength, with the power, with the confidence, and you will get it. So again, use the universe. I'm always going to go back to this, guys, meditation and mindfulness, because guess what? Meditation will get rid of all that noise. You know, you're not worth it. You don't deserve it. You can't do it. What do you think you are? You're small. That is all noise. And the meditation and mindfulness, just the act of being present and you know, creating that space and the capacity, the stillness will allow you to like lower the volume. Mindfulness is beautiful because it allows you to be present to this awesome moment while you're pushing through these fears, while, you know, when I was on stage, like, why would I want that to pass me by, right? It was such a monumental moment for me, and allowing me to just, savor it and feel the moment was so important, and mindfulness has, you know, allowed me to do that by staying present and not rushing through that moment, because, you know, it was a very huge milestone. And lastly, surrender. So surrender is probably one of the hardest things to do because, you know, for me, I'm type A. I really like to be in control. So surrendering is super important. It allows you to let go of the outcome, let go of the future, let go of what happens. If you're not able to do it on the first try, who cares? Keep trying, keep going, but let go. Just let go and flow. You know, yogis have this this philosophy where they try to, you know, be like fierce and flexible at the same time, right? So you want to be like solid like an oak tree, but floating with the wind, you know, so you're flexible and you're moving and you're flowing, but you're solid, grounded. So, you know, it's important to surrender and just let go and let the universe, you know, take action. That's why you set that intention. You got that commitment, you know. As long as you've got all these pieces, you can do anything, and there's nothing that you can't do. So I challenge you to try these. I would love to hear about your experience. I would love to see if any of this works for you, and I would love to hear your stories. If anybody, you know, you guys have any questions at all, please email me. If you like this video, please comment below. Please subscribe. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.